with an opening question, if any. Please unmute yourself and just go for it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Pranam Jai Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, could you please talk about how Maya is very strong?
Who is this asking the question?
This is Mahananda Das from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, Mahananda Prabhu, huh? Hare Krishna.
Hare
Accept my obeisances, all glory to Prabhupada.
Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu. Jai Srila Prabhu.
Maya is how strong? I think you must be experiencing it, no? Yes. Also explain.
Yes.
It's also explained that Maya is extremely powerful. It says in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says here, Mama Maya Turatyaya, this Devi is Gunamaya, Mama Maya Turatyaya. Says, those Maya is so powerful, Krishna himself call it, extremely difficult to overcome. So Krishna's Maya, even what's his name, Prahlad Maharaj is even afraid of Krishna's Maya, He says to the Narsingadev, I am not afraid of your fearful form, but I am more frightened of your, ghastly form, So Maharaj, even Prahlad Maharaj, you see how he is speaking. So he says, I am not so much afraid of your, can see here. Oh my Lord, were never conquered by anyone. I am certainly not afraid of your ferocious mouth and tongue. Your eyes bright like the sun or your frowning eyebrows. I do not fear your sharp pinching teeth, your garland of intestine, your mane soaked with blood, or your high wedge-like ears. I do not, nor do I fear your tumultuous roaring, which make elephant flee to distant places, or your nails which are meant to kill your enemies. Anyone want to read this?
All right, Prabhu. Lord Narasimha Deva's fierce appearance was certainly most dangerous for the non-devotees. But for the Prahlad Maharaj, such a fearful appearance was not at all disturbing. The lion is very fearsome for other animals, but its cubs are not at all afraid of the lion. The water of the sea is certainly dreadful for all living entities on the land, but within the sea, even the small fish is unafraid. Why? Because the small fish has shelter of the big ocean. It is said that although great elephants are taken away by the flooding waters of the river, the small fish swim opposite the current. Therefore, although the Lord sometimes assumes a fierce appearance to kill the Duskritis, the devotee worship him. Keshava Dhruta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Harere. The devotee always takes pleasure in worshipping the Lord and glorifying the Lord in any form, either pleasing or fierce. O most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls, I have been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities, and therefore I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditioned life?
So you see here, the Lord, Prahlad is saying he's more frightened of this association of demons and this material world. You know, my conditioned life within this material world. So you see how much he's more afraid of this Maya than he's afraid of the Lord's fearful form. Please read.
Perfect. Being in the material world certainly miserable, but certainly when one is put into the association of asuras or atheist men, it is intolerably so. One may ask why the living entity is put into the material world. Indeed, sometimes foolish people deride the Lord for having put them here. Actually, everyone is put into the conditional life according to his karma. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaja, representing all the other conditioned souls, admits that he was put into life among the asuras because of the results of his karma. The Lord is known as Krupana Vatsala because he is extremely kind to the conditioned souls. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, therefore the Lord appears whenever there are discrepancies in the execution of religious principles. The Lord is extremely anxious to deliver the conditioned souls, and therefore he instructs all of us to return home back to Godhead. Thus, Prahlada Maharaj expected that the Lord, by his kindness, would call him again to the shelter of his lotus feet. In other words, everyone should be eager to return home back to Godhead, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus being fully trained in Krishna consciousness.
So this Maya is extremely, it is actually so much mess that it is burning the conditioned souls. Uh, you see the point? Uh, it says here, the living entity who are trapped in Maya, that is not very, what we say, it is extremely burning. See here it says, you want to read this?
My dear Lord, one who is being cruelly burned in the blazing fire of material miseries, having fallen into the network of material existence, I do not see any possible shelter besides your lotus feet, which are a shower of nectar extinguishing the fire of suffering.
So you see this point here, Maya is terrible suffering. It is burning, cruelly burning, material miseries. You cannot say you can become happy in the material world. That's not possible. See again, material existence is like an ocean that is extremely difficult to cross. The conditioned souls have fallen into the ocean, which is not cool but rather burns them with the fire of misery. For one who has fallen into the sea and desires to get out, there is no rescue boat except the constant relishing within oneself with the pastime narration of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the only way out is to take shelter of the Lord. And This is a very big secret. To know how to come out itself is a very big blessing if you know. Hey, Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, after many, many births, one who knows that I am all in all, such a person is rare and grateful. So to know how to come out, to take shelter of the Lord, is the only solution. There's no other way out of this place, you know. See, even the Lord says this material world, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punavarittino Arjuna Mamapeti tu Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. You see? So even if you go to the highest planet or you go down to the lowest, this is the same thing. All are places of misery. Hmm? So there's no question of becoming happy in this material condition. Everyone is miserable until we go back to the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then, this misery is, it becomes pretty much huge ocean is reduced to the size of the calf's hoof print, This is the Samasitaye Padapallava Plavam Mahat Padam, this Mahat Padam, the big ocean, Punya Yesho Murari, Bhavambudhi, Vatsapadam, it become reduced to the calf hoof print, That is the spiritual world. This whole miseries become reduced. This place where padam yat vipadam natesham, this place is danger at every step. You can see, for those who have accepted the board of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of the Mura demon, ocean of the material world is like water contained in a calf's hoof print. Their goal is Parampadam Vaikuntha, the place where there is no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. You see? So this big ocean of misery, ocean of material world is reduced to the size of a calf's hoof print, water contained in a calf. And for crossing over the hoof print, you don't need a boat anyway. See how the Lord is giving mercy in this way. So it is not that, there's no solution to stop this misery. Maya can only be controlled if you go to Krishna through his devotees. Then the whole thing becomes, tolerable, So if you want to escape this Maya, that's why Krishna also said in the Bhagavad Gita just now. He said just now, unless you surrender to me, then only you can overcome. Okay? Just now we read. See that? Mam eva e prapadyante. You see this point here? Unless you surrender unto me, there is no way you can escape this Maya, Difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross behind it. The only solution is surrendering. If you want to escape this Maya, which is so difficult to overcome, we are all experiencing it, This mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, and every moment we are getting, what we say, completely covered over. So we're so covered over. The only way to come out is to take shelter of Krishna. And you cannot take shelter of Krishna unless you go through the devotees. Unless you take shelter of the devotees, it's not possible to come out of this problem. My dear Uddhava, I am personally the ultimate shelter and way of life for sanely liberated persons. And thus, if one does not engage in my loving devotional service, which is made possible by associating with my devotees, then for all practical purpose, one possesses no effective means of escaping from material existence. So this sadhu sangha is the most important. That's why even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, sadhu sangha, sarva shastra hoy. Lava mantra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. That's why, we have Prabhupada have labored so much to open so many temples. The whole idea of this temple is to give association to all the devotees, so that by coming and associating with devotees, they can escape this Maya. Otherwise, there is no way you can come out of this Maya. It's not possible, because we are caught, we are caught. The moment we forget Krishna, we are caught. You can see here, in this verse, Nate viduha swartha gatim he Vishnu, durashaya he bhairarthamaninaha, andayatanda upaniyamanas tepisi tantriyam urudami badaha. So, persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life, those who are in complete Maya, and who have therefore accepted as their leader or a guru a similar blind man attached to external sense object, cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As blind man guided by another blind man may miss the right path and fall into a ditch, materially attached man led by another materially attached man are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering the three-pole miseries. You see this point? They are very much, nobody can overcome Krishna's mind. That is not possible. That's why you want to come out of Maya, first you must come to the mode of goodness. We got three modes, passion, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So until you come to the mode of goodness and then to the transcendental goodness, you cannot come out of Maya. That's not possible. See? So therefore, coming to goodness is very important. And you cannot come to the mode of goodness if you don't do tapasya. Yeah, tapasya is very much required. Therefore, it explains, in this verse by Rishabdev, see the word here, tapo devyam putrakaha yena sattvam. Sudayat yasmat brahma saukyanta anantam. See? by doing devotional, austerity. See that? Now Rishabdev told his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material body in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and for hawks that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. So the whole idea is to come to the mode of goodness. See here. By doing austerity, tapo divyam. This austerity is not like you go and fast for Monday for Lord Shiva and Tuesday for Ganesh and Wednesday for Durga. Not like that. This is called transcendental austerity, which is meaning to follow the austerities given by the spiritual master. This is the austerity. That means no eating meat, fish or eggs, observing no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. These are the four basic principles of austerity. Waking up in the morning, especially doing Mangalarati, chanting your rounds, reading the scriptures, taking Krishna Prasadam, associating with devotees. These are the austerities. They are called transcendental austerities. And when you do that, you will come to the mode of goodness, sattvam. Sattvam means goodness. And when you get purified, then you cross over the mode of pure goodness. And that is Brahma Bhuta, as it says in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, then you do this austerity given by the spiritual master. Once you do this austerity, one who engage in full devotional service, and you see the word here, unfailing in all circumstances, at one transcend the mode of material nature and thus come to the level of Brahman. So if you want to come to the mode, want to escape Maya and come to the Brahman level, then you must practice this devotional service unfailingly. It is not that today you do, tomorrow you sleep, the next day you try. No. Unfailing means every day. Then you come to the level of pure goodness. Yeah. Brahma Bhuta, again, when you come to this Brahma Bhuta platform, now we are in the Jiva Bhuta. Jiva Bhuta and Brahma Bhuta, two different. Jiva Bhuta means you are conditioned, and Brahma Bhuta means you understand your position as servant of God. Then you become happy. He said here, Prasanatma. This word Prasanatma means you become happy, fully joyful, you see. So, whereas in material misery, Maya, if you go, you become completely misery. But here you become joyful. And then the condition, what is this, what joyful means? Joyful means you are no more hankering or no more lamenting. Na sochate, na kanchate. That is what material life is all about. Hankering and lamenting. When we get something, we are temporarily happy. When we lose it, we are completely in misery. The material world is like that. Nothing is permanent. Whereas here in the transcendental plane, you are no more interested. And not only that, you are also looking at every living entity in an equal manner. Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. Then he gets devotional service to the Lord, which is the highest thing. Mad bhaktim labate param. See? One who is thus transcendently situated that one realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that stage, he attains a pure devotional service unto me. This same point is also been explained by Krishna to Uddhava, And Uddhava explains this. Again, here you see he's explaining to Uddhava. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said that three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, ignorance, pertain to material intelligence and not to spirit soul. But the development of material goodness, you see here, is a very important point. One can conquer the mode of passion and ignorance. See, by development of material goodness only, one can conquer the mode of passion and ignorance. And by cultivation of transcendental goodness, one may be free oneself even from material goodness. So why material goodness is not okay? Because material goodness is sense of conditioning also. You become proud that, oh, I'm very pure. Oh, I'm much better. I know I know more things. That's why many of the Brahmin people who are in the mode of goodness and who don't go to the transcendental goodness, they are always thinking themselves as very high caste. That is not very good because you become proud. Pride goes before fall, everybody knows. That's why to remain in goodness is not a because you, even though you say you may be in goodness, but you can be contaminated by passion and ignorance. That's why you must come up to the transcendental goodness. Of course, in goodness only you can become God conscious. That's the start. See, goodness in the material world never exists in its pure form. Therefore, it is common knowledge that on the material platform, no one is working without personal motivation. In the material world, goodness is always mixed with some amount of passion and ignorance, whereas spiritual or purified goodness, Vishuddha Sattva, transcends the liberated platform of perfection. Materially, one is proud to be an honest, compassionate man, but unless one is fully Krishna conscious, one will speak truth that are not ultimately significant, and one will give mercy that is ultimately useless. Because the onward march of material time removes all situation and person from the material stage, so-called mercy and truth apply to situations that shortly will not exist. Real truth is eternal, and real mercy means to situate people in the eternal truth. Still, for an ordinary person, cultivation of material goodness may be preliminary stage on the road to Krishna consciousness. For example, is stated in the 10th Kanto Srimad Bhagavatam, the one who is addicted to meat eating cannot understand the pastime of Lord Krishna. By cultivation of the material mode of goodness, however, one may become a vegetarian and perhaps come to appreciate the sublime process of Krishna consciousness. Since it is clearly stated in the Bhagavad Gita that the material modes of nature constantly rotate, one must take advantage of an elevated position in material goodness to step into the transcendental platform. Otherwise, as the wheel of time turns, one will again go into the darkness of material existence. So you can see here how it is very risky to just stay in the mode of goodness, So if you don't come, at least before you can overcome Maya, you must come to the goodness platform. And goodness platform starts with some kind of a religiosity, worshipping the Lord, uh, you know, uh, even the demigod worship is said to be in the mode of goodness. So then a person must progress, from goodness to transcendental goodness. This is explained here in the next verse. When the living entity becomes strongly situated in the mode of goodness, then religious principle, you see, religious principles characterized by devotional service to me become prominent. See? One can strengthen the mood of goodness by cultivation of those things that are already situated in goodness, and thus religious principle arise. So this is the step to overcome Krishna's Maya. That at least you start by going to the mode of goodness, you know. And of course, in our case, we are immediately been trained to go even above the mode of goodness by, worshipping Krishna directly. Sri Madhvacharya points out in this regard that an increase in the mode of goodness strengthened religious principle and invigorated execution of religious principles. Strengthen the mode of goodness. And that way one can advance higher and higher in the mode of spiritual happiness. So you cannot come to the mode of goodness if you are not religious or you're not God conscious, It is not that somebody in the moralistic principle can, do all this. No, it's not possible. All these moralistic principles are in the mode of passion and ignorance. So, unless you become God conscious, there's no question of going out of Maya. That's also Krishna said this now. Devi esa gunam mama maya turata mayam eva prapadyante mayam etantaranti. Unless you surrender unto me, there's no question of overcome my Maya. So surrendering to Krishna means you have to go and become God conscious. Therefore, even Rishabh, they say, in order to come goodness, you must do some austerity. Without austerity, there is no question of coming to goodness. And goodness entails fasting, sacrificing, waking up in the morning, and all these austerities. Giving up all the, especially meat eating. So then Krishna further explains, religious principles strengthened by the mood of goodness destroy the influence of passion and ignorance. When passion and ignorance are overcome, their original cause, irreligion, is quickly vanquished. So this is what it is all about. When a person is in the mode of passion and ignorance, then he is breeding irreligion. He is actually irreligious. That's why demonic qualities, they spring from the mode of passion and ignorance. Krishna himself said, no, this kama esha, krodha esha, this is the biggest enemy. This is your enemy. Because lust and anger and greed, they all come from the mode of passion and ignorance. So if you go into the mode of ignorance, there's no question of trying to become God conscious. You'll be stuck with, completely in Maya. You understand? Is it like this? It's also further explained here in this verse. When consciousness is fixed on the material body, home, and other similar objects of sense gratification, one spends one life chasing after material objects with the help of the senses. Consciousness, thus powerfully affected by the mode of passion, become dedicated to impermanent things. And this way, irreligion, ignorance, attachment, and wretchedness arise. So can you imagine if you want to become God conscious, and if you don't practice these austerities that is given, then you cannot become God conscious. You cannot overcome this Maya. Not possible. You understand?
Yes,
We have to understand how everybody, especially nowadays, nobody is interested. No. You understand?
yes,
When
Prabhu.
one's peaceful consciousness, when one's peaceful consciousness means we are talking about doing all this austerity. Otherwise, there's no question of, understanding. You cannot become peaceful unless you come to the mode of goodness, at least. Strengthened by the mode of goodness is fixed on the personality of God. One achieves, religiosity, knowledge, detachment, and opulence. It is not that you become religious, you become less opulent. You become opulent, it says here. So try to understand how much it is. If you want to come out of Maya, there is no question of you trying to become, above practicing this God consciousness. There's no way you can actually develop your strength to overcome Maya if you don't follow these principles. It's not possible, It is not possible. So you can see here, then when irreligion quickly vanquish, according to the quality of the religious scriptures, water, one's association, one's children, or with people in general, the particular place, the time, activities, birth, meditation, chanting of mantras, purification ritual, the modes of nature become differently prominent. So in all these things, they are mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. If it is in the mode of goodness, the water get very purified, but the water in the mode of ignorance become very contaminating. If you got children who are in the mode of goodness, religious, they are very helpful. But if they are in the mode of passion and ignorance, you're going to be big trouble. And people also, goodness, passion, particular place, like for example, any place where the Lord is worshipped, temple is worshipped, Prabhupada said, the forest is mode of goodness, cities are mode of passion, the brothels are mode of ignorance, place. The time in the morning it is very auspicious, mode of goodness, Brahma Murta, and then in the afternoon it is all passionate, and then in the night it's all mode of ignorance. So birth also, if you take birth in, let's say, in some very degraded country, their birth is very bad. Chanting of mantras, purified rituals, mode of nature. So accordingly, they all act. Now this is another point. Among the 10 items I've just mentioned, great sages who understand Vedic knowledge have praised and recommended those who are in the mode of goodness. You see, the sages, they praise. That means they want to associate with people who are in the mode of goodness. Criticize and rejected those in the mode of ignorance and show indifference to those in the mode of passion. Even the sages, devotees, they don't want to be with people in the mode of ignorance and passion. Asat Sangatya, Gay Vaishnava Acharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instruction. Those which are very mode of passion and ignorance are called asat, not sat, So asat sanga, tyag, give up the association of this people who are in the mode of passion and ignorance. Associate with devotees. Until one revives one direct knowledge of the spirit soul and drives away the illusory identification with the material body and mind, caused by the three modes of nature, one must cultivate those things in the mode of goodness. By increasing the mode of goodness, one automatically can understand and practice religious principles. And by such practice, transcendental knowledge is awakened. By increasing the mode of goodness, one automatically can understand and practice religious principles. And by such practice, transcendental knowledge is awakened. See? So unless you come to the mode of goodness, you cannot get anywhere. So you want to go over Krishna's Maya, these are all directions. Very important. In the bamboo forest, the wind sometimes rubs the bamboo stalks together, and such friction generates the blazing fire that consumes the very source of its birth, the bamboo forest. Thus, the fire is automatically come by its own action. Similarly, by the competition and interaction of the material modes of nature, the subtle and gross material bodies are generated. If one uses his mind and body to cultivate knowledge, then such enlightenment destroys the influence of the modes of nature that generated one body. Thus, like fire, the body and mind are pacified by their own actions in destroying the source of their birth. So, by cultivating more of goodness, we can give up this material body and go back to our spiritual original birth, our original position as servant of God. Buddha was said, my dear Krishna, generally human beings know that material life brings about great future unhappiness. And still they try to enjoy material life. My dear Lord, how can one in knowledge act just like a dog or an ass or a god? So this is another point. If we are explaining, and if you know, and if you don't want to follow, that means you are no better than a dog, an ass or a goat. Because you now know that you shouldn't do this nonsense. You should become spiritually, awakened. And if instead of doing this you don't want to do, then you are no better than an animal. Yes. This is what Uddhava is saying. One who is in knowledge, how he can act like a dog or an ass or a goat? Correct? So then here Krishna explains, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Uddhava, a person bereft of intelligence first falsely identifies himself with the material body and mind. And when such false knowledge arises within one's consciousness, material passion, the cause of great suffering, pervades the mind, which by nature is situated in goodness. Thus, actually, the mind is situated in the mode of goodness. But if because of the association with the thinking that we are the body, then the mind become polluted. Then the mind, contaminated by passion, become absorbed in making and changing many plans for material advancement. And thus, by constantly thinking of the modes of material nature, a foolish person is afflicted with unbearable material desires. Unbearable material desires. This is a conditioning. You see how Krishna explains? So if you want to be in this situation, then what can anyone say? Right? One who does not control the material senses come under the control of the material desires and is thus bewildered by the strong waves of mode of passion. Strong waves. It is not that it is something, very light or what. It's strong. Such a person executes material activities, although clearly seeing that the result will be future unhappiness. So this is how he is completely bewildered, you know. Huh? Krishna also said that, in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says also the same thing. Krishna says that if you don't follow the direction of the scriptures, that we have, I'm now saying, then you see what happens. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow human life, the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas, certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of senses, such a person lives in vain. Then, again the same thing Krishna says, Yeah? You understand? So it's not that you say one thing here and say another thing there, Correct? So this is what Maya is all about, Although the intelligence of a learned person may be bewildered by the modes of passion and ignorance, he should again carefully bring the mind under control. By clearly seeing the contamination, the modes of nature, he does not become attached. So this is an intelligent person. What is that intelligent person? That he reads and hears this message. He reads the scriptures. He chants Hare Krishna. This is an intelligent person. Then he understands and he should again carefully bring the mind under control. He doesn't control the mind by chanting. That's why mantra. Mantra means to release the mind from this entanglement. Manaha trayate iti mantraha. So we should learn, how to overcome Maya. That's why pain, unless there's pain, nobody want to find any relief. Common sense. So it is painful. Material life is burning. That's now we read. It is not very cooling or what. No, it's burning effect. So why Krishna says how it burns? Because you go to and touch it. If you go and touch fire, you will be burned. Huh? So the solution is not to touch the fire of material life. The only way to become out of this is to come to the mode of goodness and then become transcendental to the mode of goodness. And that means practicing, chanting Krishna's name, waking up in the morning, program, Mangala Arati, all these activities, taking prasadam, they are designed to help us. You understand? That's not that there's no solution, there's a solution, provided we want to take it. A person should be attentive and grave and never lazy or morose. Mastering the yoga produces of breathing and sitting properly. One should practice fixing the mind on me at dawn, noon, and sunset, and thus gradually the mind should be completely absorbed in me. So Krishna is speaking, of course, he is speaking about the yoga process, but in Kali Yoga, the best process is to chant. So this is very important. Now, if we don't want to do this, then it's going to be difficult. We have to become Krishna conscious. There's no other way to it, Because there's a shortcut. There's a shortcut to all these things. And the shortcut is explained here. The shortcut is this. One must conquer the mode of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness. And then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Sattva. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the modes of nature. This is the shortcut. If you want to escape, then the only way is to surrender to the spiritual master, bona fide guru. If you take this message, that's why initiation is so important. If you take shelter of Srila Prabhupada by, engaging, by getting connected to him by the process of initiation, then yes, automatically, very quickly you go above the modes. It says here, all this can be automatically done if one engage in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. And this solution, of course, Srila Prabhupada then says what you should do, what you cannot do. All these things are there, devotional service. So one should, from this we can understand how we have to be very cautious in executing our spiritual duty by observing the rules and regulations, regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we neglect doing this, we will eventually fall down. We must rise early in the morning. We must rise early in the morning, bathe, attend Mangalarti, worship the deity, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, study the Vedic literature and follow all the rules prescribed by the acharyas and the spiritual master. If we deviate from this process, we may fall down, even though we may be very highly advanced. You see this point? Even you become very advanced, if you don't follow these basic things, then there's danger. Fall down is inevitable. So therefore, this process of overcoming Maya, we all are, mostly all of you are going to work. I think I explained that in the class on last Sunday, I think. Hmm. So according to the Vedic principles, one should rise early in the morning, take bath. Yes? Oh, what's going on here? Got to the wrong verse. And it full. So according to the According to Vedic principle, one should rise early in the morning, take bath, chant Hare Krishna, offer Mangalarti to the deities, study the Vedic literature, take prasadam, and engage in dressing and decorating the deities. One must also collect money for the temple expenditure, or if one is a householder, he must go to work in accordance with the prescribed duty of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. And this way, one should live a life of spiritual understanding, and this is the Vedic way of civilization. So, one who does not follow all these rules and regulations is called a Yavana or Malacha. So, therefore, we have to be very careful. We want to stay in Maya or we want to go out of Maya. So, we have to think. The choice is in our hands, and it all comes by taking shelter of a pure devotee. We have the facility, Prabhupada is there. We follow this guidance, wake up, take shelter. If you have a temple, then go to the temple. If you don't have a temple, you can at least do it yourself. Anyway, you have to follow whatever it is there. So if you don't follow, then you never say how you can act like an ass or a goat or cow or an ass or a goat. Yeah. So we have to become intelligent. If you want to stay in Maya, then that's yours. Then again, next life, that's going to be bad. For those people in the mode of passion, they take birth again. For those in the mode of ignorance, they take a lower birth like animals. So this is the result. It's all there. If you follow, yeah. If you don't want, then your choice. So I think I've explained at length this Maya thing, yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very enlightened.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you don't want to, you're going to have problems. So any other questions or somebody have anything else to add or something to ask more?
I have a question, Prabhu.
Who is this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You want to identify yourself, so at least I know who I am speaking to.
Vasudev Das.
Who?
Divakar here.
Divakar. Oh, okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Submine to Aglash Prabhupada. Tell me, what's the
So,
question?
I am confused with one thing. That Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi Sanichana Torurupi Saisnana Amanana Manadina Kirtina Sadahari. You go, you tolerate, you have to be tolerant like grass, a tree, and you have to be smaller than grass. Krishna forced them to fight against the Kauravas.
Yes.
You have to fight, you have to do. So the same Lord, he told him to fight against the Kauravas, and why he could why Krishna didn't forgive, and Mahaprabhu said like that you should tolerate and
Yes. So if you are tolerating, even to the last moment, Arjuna was saying that I don't want to fight, I let them take, he was so tolerant also. Correct? Yes?
yes, but
But,
and Mahaprabhu is teaching.
but Krishna wanted him to fight, You understand? Yeah. Krishna's desire. Krishna wanted the war because he came to kill all the demons, no? Correct? Remember Mother Earth, she went to see Brahma because she was overburdened with so many demons, no? Correct? Kshatriyas, no? Yes?
Let's go.
So Krishna's plan is to bring them together. So he brought all together and he wanted to give the credit to his devotee, no? Yes? He can kill them all. There is no problem for him. But he wants his devotee, to take the credit. That's Krishna's love, no? Yes. So Arjuna was trying to be tolerant. Krishna said, no, you fight. You want to please me means you fight, you take my order. So the duty of the devotee is to fulfill the order of Krishna. You understand? For personally, yeah, he is tolerant, I don't know. But for the desire of the Lord, he cannot be tolerant. Yes? Correct?
Yes,
That's why Krishna told Yudhishthira to tell a lie. But Yudhishthira, he hesitant, no? Yes? He was always riding 1 feet above the chariot. He was flying actually. But after he didn't do that, the chariot came down. Correct? It's all there in the Mahabharata. Correct? So if you, the whole purpose of our life is to follow or to do the duty of Krishna, Guru and Krishna. Correct? Yes?
Yes, bro.
For ourselves, we don't care, we're tolerant. But for the purpose of pleasing Guru and Krishna, we cannot be tolerant. Yes?
Yes, bro. But Krishna himself is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's saying that you should tolerate like this and chant.
Yes, because if you want to chant Hare Krishna, you have to tolerate. Because when you chant, there will be so many problems be created by others on you, no? Correct? Isn't it? So many things, the problem from other people, problem from Maya, problem from, the demigods, and problem from your own mind. So you have to learn how to tolerate, chant. And the only way to get that, to chant, you must become humble. You must become tolerant. You must offer respect to others. Then you can chant Hare Krishna, Kirtanaya Sada Hari. Understand?
Yeah.
But other devotees in problem, we cannot tolerate one. Other devotees, one like Jaya and Vijay, Jagai and Madai, they attacked Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu was tolerant, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there to kill them. Yes? Same Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to kill Jagai and Madai. He's telling us to be tolerant, but when devotees hurt, he went to kill them, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So we must learn how to apply this, tolerance. Not that, we become a fool, Huh? You follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
You
But,
want- Tell me, if people are like now, they are saying that Prabhupada, is not the guru, everyone else is guru, you will tolerate? Huh?
yes, Prabhu.
We cannot tolerate. That's why we are fighting. Why we are fighting? Because you are offending Prabhupada, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So we should be very strong in that matter. We can tolerate anything for ourselves, but for other deities and spiritual master and Krishna, we cannot tolerate. No way.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? Yes.
So, yes, Prabhu.
If Krishna want to fight the war, then Arjuna will say, yes, I will do whatever you tell me to do. Huh? Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
That one we must understand. Vaishnava principle is like this. For yourself, yes, never mind, let him do whatever you want to do. Like Nityananda Prabhu, he throw the pot, okay, never mind. At least now you chant, at least you please chant, he said that, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Chaitanya
Yes.
Mahaprabhu, he never tolerate. He came there with the Sudarshan Chakra, he wanted to kill them both. Then they fell at his feet and asked for forgiveness, and then, yes, he tell them, you don't do this again. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Any other questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories.
Yes.
Prabhuji said like problems from mind and problems from Maya. So both are different, Prabhuji. Problem from mind is also like a problem.
There are three kinds of problems, one from our mind, the other one is from other people's mind, and the third one is from the demigods. So there are three kinds of kleshas, Adi Atmik, Adi Bhautik, and the other one is Devik, So in this way, we are always tormented in the material world, There's no question of happiness here, always problems. So that's why Krishna tell us to tolerate.
Yes, Prabhuji. So,
Especially when you do spiritual life, there's so much you have to tolerate, no?
yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Hmm.
What is the difference between Yoga Maya and Mahamaya, Prabhuji? Because spiritually in world, Yoga Maya is there. So, but devotees also are spiritual. So, with them also Yoga Maya is there, or
Yoga Maya and Mahamaya, I think I explained that some time back. Let me get to that verse. So in this place here, it is nicely explained by Prabhupada. Give me a minute, I just get it to you.
Sure, Prabhuji.
I'm looking for that verse again. This was Prabhupada in the purport in the 10th canto. He was giving the purport for this, both Mayas, So I think that's the best is to read what Prabhupada is giving us. We find it very interesting. So, okay. You want to read this for me?
Yes, Prabhuji. To protect the Yadus, his personal devotees, from Kamsa's attack, the personality of Godhead, Vishwatma, the supreme soul of everyone, ordered Yogamaya as follows. The words Bhagavan api Vishwatma viditva kamsajam bhayam are commented upon by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Bhagavan Swayam is Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28. He is Vishwatma, the original super soul of everyone, because his plenary portion expands as a super soul. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 13.3. Lord Krishna is the Kshetrajna or super soul of all living entities. He is the original source of all expansions of the personality of Godhead. There are hundreds and thousands of plenary expansions of Vishnu, such as Shankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudeva. But here in this material world, the Vishwatma, the super soul for all living entities, is Kshirodaka Shai Vishnu, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 18.61. The Supreme Lord is situated in the heart of all living entities. O Arjuna, Krishna is actually Vishnu.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah? We are going to another verse. Yeah, this is a very long purport. Extremely long. Okay, you can read from here, please.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You can read here. Maya Manusya here because, can you go?
This is a description given in the Brihad Vaishnavas Doshani by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Maya Manushasya 10.1.7. Because of being covered by Yoga Maya, Krishna is sometimes called Maya Manushasya, indicating that although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he appears like an ordinary person. A misunderstanding arises because Yoga Maya covers the vision of the general public. The Lord's position is actually different from that of an ordinary person. For although he appears to act like an ordinary man, he is always transcendental. The word Maya also indicates mercy, and sometimes it is also means knowledge. The Lord is always full of all transcendental knowledge, and therefore, although he acts like a human being, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of knowledge. In his original identity, the Lord is the controller of Maya. Therefore, the Lord may be called Maya Manushya, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, playing like an ordinary human being. Although he is the controller of both the material and spiritual energies, the Lord is the Supreme Person, Purushottama. But because we are deluded by Yoga Maya, he appears to be an ordinary person. Ultimately, however, Yoga Maya induces even a non-devotee to understand the Lord as the Supreme Person, Purushottama. In the Bhagavad Gita, we find two statements given by the Supreme. Given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the devotees, the Lord says, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Thus, for the willing devotee, the Lord gives intelligence by which to understand him and return home back to Godhead. For others, for non-devotees, the Lord says, Bhagavad Gita 10.34, I am all plundering in inevitable death. A devotee like Prahlada enjoys the activities of Lord Narsimhadev, whereas non-devotees like Prahlad's father, Hiranyakashipu, meet death before Lord Narsimhadev. The Lord therefore acts in two ways, by sending some onto the path of the repeated birth and death, and sending others back home, back to Godhead. The word Kala, meaning black, indicates the color of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Lord Krishna and Lord Ramachandra
Read here the word karya arte.
The word karyarte refers to one who attracted the pregnancy of Devaki and bewildered Mother Yashoda. These pastimes are very confidential. The Supreme Personality of Godhead ordered Yogamaya to bewilder his associates in his pastimes and bewilder demons like Kamsa. As stated previously, Yogamayam Samadhisha. To give service to the Lord, Yogamaya appeared along with Mahamaya. Mahamaya refers to Yaya Sammohitam Jagat, one who bewilders the entire material world. From this statement, it is to be understood that Yogamaya in her partial expansion becomes Mahamaya and bewilders the conditioned souls. In other words, the entire creation has two divisions, transcendental or spiritual and material. Yogamaya manages the spiritual world, and by her partial expansion as Mahamaya, she manages the material world. As stated in the Narada Pancharatra, Mahamaya is partial expansion of Yogamaya. The Narada Pancharatra clearly states that the Supreme Personality has one potency, which is sometimes described as Durga. The Brahma Samhita says, Chayeva yasya bhuvanani vibharti Durga. Brahma Samhita 5.44. Durga is not different from Yogamaya. When one understands Durga properly, he is immediately liberated. For Durga is originally the spiritual potency, Hladini Shakti, by whose mercy one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead very easily. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shaktir Asmad. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 1.5. The Mahamaya Shakti, however, is a covering of Yogamaya, and she is therefore called the covering potency. By this covering potency, the entire material world is bewildered. Yaya Samohitam Jagat. In conclusion, bewildering the conditioned souls and liberating the devotees are both functions belonging to Yogamaya. Transferring the pregnancy of Devaki and keeping Mother Yashoda in deep sleep were both done by Yogamaya. Mahamaya cannot act upon such devotees, for they are always liberated. But although it is not possible for Mahamaya to control liberated souls or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she did bewilder Kamsa. The action of Yogamaya in presenting herself before Kamsa was the action of Mahamaya, not Yogamaya. Yogamaya cannot even see or touch such polluted persons as Kamsa. In Chandi, in the Markandeya Purana, 11th chapter, Mahamaya says, during the 28th Yuga, in the period of Vaivashvata Manu, I shall take birth as a daughter of Yashoda and be known as Vindhyachala Vasini. The distinction between the two Mayas, Yogamaya and Mahamaya, is described as follows. Krishna's Rasa Leela with the gopis and the gopis' bewilderment in respect to their husbands, fathers-in-law, and other such relatives were arrangements of Yogamaya in which Mahamaya had no influence. The Bhagavatam gives sufficient evidence of this when it clearly says Yogamayam Upashritaha. On the other hand, there was Asuras headed by Shalva and Kshatriyas like Duryodhana, who were bereft of devotional service in spite of seeing Krishna's carrier Garuda and the universal form, and who could not understand Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This was also bewilderment, but this bewilderment was due to Mahamaya. Therefore, it is to be concluded that the Maya which drags a person from the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Jada Maya, and the Maya which acts on the transcendental platform is called Yogamaya. When Nanda Maharaja was taken away by Varuna, he saw Krishna's opulence, but nonetheless he thought of Krishna as his son. Such feelings of parental love in the spiritual world are acts of Yogamaya, not of Jadamaya or Mahamaya. This is the opinion of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Suresh?
So you can see, I think the explanation is very clear.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Difference between Yogamaya and Mahamaya.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you can take note of this 10.169. I mean, it's a long purport. I'm just taking out the portion where Yogamaya and Mahamaya is explained. Is it clear on this point?
Yes, Prabhuji. So devotees who are in transcendental knowledge, for them, whatever happens is due to this Yoga Maya only, Prabhuji.
Yeah, anyone who's in the spiritual Brahma Bhuta platform is in the Yoga Maya platform. Those who are not in those who are in the Jiva Bhuta platform, they are in the Mahamaya platform. You understand? If you are with Maya, that means you are not spiritual. If you are spiritual, then you are in Yoga Maya. Helps you. Yoga Maya helps you to go to Krishna. Mahamaya helps you to go further away from Krishna. So the demons are under the control of Mahamaya and the devotees are under the control of Yogamaya.
Prabhuji, one example related to this question. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, when he was, means a mystic yogi came and he tried to give, like, because of that mystic yogi, even Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur got a heart attack, and also entire village was affected by ill health and all. So this is all Yogamaya only on him, or which one, Prabhuji, like Mahamaya?
I mean, because he got attacked and he killed the guy, I mean, he got the guy arrested and eventually he died. This is Krishna's way of trying to show how Bhaktivinoda Thakur is very powerful. Even the yogi tried to do so many crazy things and he never succumbed, no? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is to show the glory. Just like Prabhupada, he went on the ship, he got a heart attack, correct?
Yes.
But this glorified him more, yes? So Krishna way of trying to glorify his devotees, no? Yes?
Yes.
So devotees, that's why they always come under the protection of Yogamaya. The yogi couldn't kill Bhaktivinoda Thakur, correct?
Yes.
So they have protection of Yogamaya. So sometimes it may seem like the devotee is affected, but ones who are in the devotional plane, they can understand. And this is to show how powerful Bhaktivinoda Thakur is. Otherwise, people think he's an ordinary person, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Correct. So like that, Krishna sometimes, how he uses his Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. Because on the devotee, it is always Yoga Maya. Unless you are a very advanced devotee. For those who, I don't know about others, are struggling, definitely they are trying to overcome Maya. Yes?
Yes. But same incident totally happened. Like that time, this mystic yogi was performing at the time. Incident is same, but two Mayas are acting upon each other like that.
Yes, because Yoga Maya will, as now we read, no, we will never touch the non-devotees. Yoga Maya and non-devotees are, far away. So Mahamaya, her expansion takes over. And Mahamaya, deals with all these non-devotees, Asuras, non-devotees, demons, they're all under the control of Mahamaya.
Yes.
Just like Ravana, he came to capture Sita, no?
Yes.
When she wanted to catch her, then she went inside the house and then Mahamaya came out in the form of Maya Sita, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So demons got no way they can have anything to do with Krishna. Krishna does not associate with those people who are demonic by nature. Because his association to kill them, that's another thing. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
It's very clear. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes. Any other questions?
So, Hare Krishna and Tamas Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, and Sundar Gopal Prabhu.
Accept my obeisance or Glaj Prabhupada.
So, from your explanation, Prabhu, about the Sadhu Sangha being the key, I do notice that when I also read Srila Prabhupada's letter, that you have to be attached to Vani. So would this sadhu sangha also be a means to get that ultimate association to Vani? You know, because you're associating with devotees who are actually trying to follow the Vani. Wow, Prabhupada's not there.
Yeah, the whole idea of association is to get this understanding, no? Knowledge, no? Yes? Now here we are talking, we are not wasting time, we are talking about getting knowledge, correct? Someone is asking a question and then we are reading all parts of the Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, whatever. So all this is knowledge, no? Correct? So now she asked the question about Maya. So I just have to take out the portion where Prabhupada explained about this Maya.
Mm.
Yes?
Yes.
So we are hearing from Prabhupada. So that is
Mm.
only instruction, correct?
Yes.
So this association must be in that level to enlighten each other on the instruction of Prabhupada. Then we become strong because we are associating with our spiritual master.
Yes, Prabhu.
So that's the difference between the others. They try to explain in their own speculation, then that's not very. Of course, if he explains according to what Prabhupada has said, that's okay. But if he's trying to screw some kind of meaning other than this, then it's going to be difficult, no?
Correct. Yes, Prabhu.
So our whole idea is to become Krishna conscious by associating with a pure devotee like Prabhupada. That is our whole idea. So sometimes, like for example, you may not have come to the 10th canto, correct? Yeah.
Well, I read it sometimes, but not like directly.
So here we have taken out this verse on the Maya, correct? So something that if you did not come across or if you have overlooked or whatever, so it clearly explains, that you can note also, or anybody asks you about what's the difference between the two Mayas, you can always show this portion, no? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is Vani of Prabhupada, correct? So the duty of the person you are associating, he has to learn how to give you the Vani of Prabhupada.
Oh.
But if you're associating with someone and is not doing that, then that's going to be difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
Correct? You follow?
I follow, Prabhu.
So if you don't get the Vani of Prabhupada, then how you can make spiritual progress?
Impossible.
So that is why we have to learn how to hear from Prabhupada, That's the whole idea. That's why constant reading of his books, associating with devotees, clearing our doubts, all these are part and parcel of trying to improve ourselves spiritually by getting that knowledge,
Yes,
Right?
Prabhuji.
So that's Vani Seva.
Vani Seva.
serving the instruction of the spiritual master. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Sundar Gopal Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Anybody has any other questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hmm.
So the place where I'm living is
Again,
on.
let me finish this. Devotee association means associate with higher modes of consciousness. Definitely, devotees should be above the modes of material nature, no? And you talk about the whole idea of association, means to hear about Krishna, correct? You don't want to hear from, you don't want to associate someone and talk about all nonsense, no? Right?
Yes, true.
Isn't it?
Yes, it's true.
You don't want to go and associate someone who talks about Maya more. Yeah? Do you want to do that? Machita madgata prana bodayantas parasparam katayantashamam nityam tusyanticha ramanticha. This is the association. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction. You see that? And bliss.
Yeah,
Always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Correct? The moment someone say Krishna, immediately you become very much purified by hearing the name. Yes?
yes, yes, Prabhu.
Is it not higher association? If you go from Mahamaya to Yoga Maya, that's not higher?
Yes, Prabhu.
That is devotee. If a devotee is not advanced, then he cannot do that. Correct?
Yes.
So we want to take association of advanced devotee so that can always remind me us of Krishna, clearing our doubts, giving us encouragement, enthusiasm. That's association. Association means what? So many places this is explained. Nectar of instruction also. We should learn how to associate with devotees. One should learn how to associate with devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Right?
Yes, true.
So when
11.
a devotee should always have no bad thing in the heart, They should always be trying to have very good feelings about all others. And that's the first step, I like him, I don't like him. Whenever I see or heard his name, I become very angry, upset. Then that's not the position of a devotee. Our devotee should have nothing in the heart against anybody. Then yes, Krishna can sit in his heart. If you say, I don't like this person, I don't like that person, I can only be with this person, then something is not right. You understand? So we should learn how to have a clean heart. Then yes, all kind of association we can do. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
Understand? Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
So then that's why devotees, they Krishna want to sit in their heart because they are always having, good, what we say, feelings about everybody. They see everything equal. Samaham sarva bhuteshu. Of course, we have to practice doing this, If we have any problem with any devotee, then we should always be paying obeisances and trying to at least see some good side, That's why the philosophy, he asked the question about Trinadapi Sunichena. The whole philosophy is that, how to become humble, how to be tolerant, how to be, offering respect to others. In this stage only we can chant Hare Krishna constantly. This guideline. Because the devotees, we always have so many things, when we such in a neophyte level, especially like us, like me, I'm a neophyte. I always have this feeling, I like this person, I don't like that person, and you like this, we go on, then we have problems spiritually. So we must learn how to give up all this liking and disliking. We should learn how to see everybody. At least see the good sides. Training, offer obeisances. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, offer all respect to others. Why? Because then our mind get purified. If we become humble, if we always have all this negativeness in our heart, then we're going to have a big trouble. No? A disease will come, especially cancer. Cancer will come because of all this negative nonsense. No? So many guys are getting cancer. Why? All in the mode of passion and ignorance. I didn't say devotees don't get cancer, they also get, but that's another thing. But always, one gets negative, the cells in the body also become negative, I got a problem. Is that clear?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
What is the other question? Who was going to ask me a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvajra Ramdesha Prabhupada.
Who is this? Who is this? Hello?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvajra Ramdesha Prabhupada.
All glories to Prabhupada. What's your name?
Vrinda.
Vrinda, okay, good. What's your question, Mataji?
Prabhuji, actually, like you were saying that we should not get disturbed by any person like that. Otherwise, Krishna won't sit in our heart. Like we should not be agitated with anyone like that. But if suppose we are if we have to avoid the association of non-devotees, like the family members or like any person, like we feel that if we if we
Non-devotee is different, but even in non-devotee case also, if the devotees are always praying to Krishna to give them good intelligence, no? Understand?
yes.
Even they are demons also, they are always just like Prahlad Maharaj. My father, he is such a rascal, my dear Lord, if you want to give me any benediction, please you deliver him. That's Prahlad Maharaj consciousness, correct? Yes?
Yes.
So we should also think like that. No, okay, this person is so demonic. Krishna, you please help. Give him some good intelligence, him or her. Yes?
Yes.
You pray like that, Krishna will not be happy with you? Huh? Tell me. Hello? Hello?
Yes, Prabhu.
We at least keep ourselves pure, in the heart, Why we should contaminate already because of some nonsense we have taken birth. Again, we want to go into all this thing and get ourselves implicated. Why? Correct? I can control my mind. I cannot control another person's mind. That's not possible. But Krishna can. So I pray to Krishna, please, Krishna, you help, Correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes?
Yes, correct, Prabhu.
So if you have your family members or you have so many demonic person, that's all you have to do, no? What you can do. Correct?
Prabhu, but there is any situation that we can avoid it, so we should do it, right? Or like we should still.
Cannot hear you properly, Some disturbance.
Prabhu, if is it possible for us to avoid the situation, because we should, I mean, because even if we try to sit with them, but not talking to them, but still, since we are not at all in that state that we can completely avoid everything. So what happens is, like, even while chanting or something, their talkings or their thoughts come in the mind, and then it starts disturbing our like our day. So it's better if we try to avoid them only.
Yeah, when you are feeling like that, then plus you go and chant somewhere there and they don't see you or something, no? Huh? Correct? Or you wake up early before they wake up and you chant all your rounds, huh? Correct? So you try to not agitate them, no? You do your own thing quietly somewhere. You figure things out, no? Why you want to clash with them? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Correct?
Yes, Prabhu, correct.
So that's the best, Why you want to give them room to make more offenses? That's not good for them, no? Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you be a little bit more tactful. You chant somewhere, or you chant before they wake up. They cannot see you. They don't get agitated, The demons, they always get agitated, They don't like devotees, Understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you just have to be a little bit more intelligent. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. What else to do? That's why we are told not to preach to the faithless, because these faithless guys, when they become more blasphemous, then they are what we say, progress to Krishna is hampered, no? Correct?
Yes.
So why we should agitate them? Mind our business and they mind theirs. Correct? Any other questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavata maximum humble obeisance, all glories to Prabhupada.
Yes. Because,
Prabhu Brahmbika share.
Hare Krishna, accept my obeisances, all glories to Prabhupada. Tell me, what's your question?
My question is according to Bhagavad Gita 7:28. Yesham hantagato pamo jananam punna karmanam. Te dandam bhakta bhajantamam dirabrata.
7:28.
So Krishna said, yeah. So Krishna said here, if somebody was not completely clear from sinful activity, should not be bhajana or cannot be paid to Krishna, or looks like you're not devotee of Krishna. But my question is, we are chanting Hare Krishna. Let myself, I said, I don't know complete other. So, but kama, krodha, lobha, all sinful activity still we have. Like example, I am working, I mean I am greedy. I am taking grasta, that means I am having still kama. So I am sometimes angry in the working place. That means I have a still in anger. So all these things is still I have. I'm working. But Krishna said here, antagatam, completely not clear the sinful activity. You cannot become devotee of Krishna. So I'm practicing try to become servant of Krishna, or try to be devotee. So my question is, how is possible all the sinful activities still have in my mind and my heart, and we are greedy, but I'm trying to be a chanting Hare. How is possible? That means I'm not in the platform still.
No, devotees, whether they are there in the platform or not platform, they always are humble, no? They can say by this, they can see that how fallen they are. Because the more you think you are fallen, then the more you get the mercy of the Lord, you know. That's why Tranadapi Sunichena, to become lower than the grass in the throw in the street, you know. So these things are kama, krodha, everything, Krishna's maya, you know. So we just have to pray to Krishna, please help, right? Whenever you get this kind of situation, you only have to do is praying word, correct? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, even what to say, even Bali Maharaj is also praying like that. He's saying that Prahlad Maharaj is a very high example, but people like us, we are all fallen, you know. Yeah, but Bali Maharaj, you know, he's so advanced. Yes?
Yeah.
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 So we should always understand that Krishna's Maya is so powerful, you know. Any moment he can overcome me, you know. You understand? You cannot come to say that, oh, now I'm free from Maya. When you start thinking like that, you're already in Maya. How can you be free in Maya? Prabhupada also said, Prabhupada is saying, the reason why I say I'm free from Maya is because I'm just praying to Krishna to help me overcome this Maya. So that's how our mood is, you know. Maya is so powerful, Prabhu. Any moment, anything can happen, no? Correct? Just now we read the whole chapter on it, correct? Yes? So we must always be humble. That's what Krishna wants. Because Krishna, any moment, you know, this karma, krodha, all can come, no? Correct? Yes?
Yeah.
So we should always be in that mood. You know, I'm very fallen, you know. I don't have love for Krishna. You know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he say like that with the prayer. No, I don't have love for Krishna. If I have love for Krishna, what am I doing here? I should be in the spiritual world, no? Correct?
Yes.
So we should be thinking like this always. Not thinking I'm so advanced, you know, I'm chanting, tears are coming, and you know, all these hairs are standing, and my voice is choking, Prabhu. Huh? What? Correct?
Yeah.
So that is the mood of the devotee, you know, always thinking how fallen he is, you know. Yes.
Yeah.
So don't try to see how Maya. The idea is to understand Krishna's Maya, how strong Krishna's Maya is, no? Yes.
Even though Prabhu tried to control anger, but sometimes situation make us be angry. Then and regret will become late. I think supposed to be not angry, but we see sometimes actually even though we are think about Krishna, we try to be not be angry with people, but still the people make situation like that, so it become like a anger.
Yeah, that is how Maya is, you know. The moment we think that, oh, now you see, I'm very good, you know, I'm very strong now. The moment you think like that, Krishna Sen is Maya. Correct? His mind, ours is very, what we say, dangerous, you know, this mind. Sometimes we are doing nicely, we think we have become proud. Oh, my chanting is now good. I'm reading. I'm very nice. You know, I'm very strong. Maya makes us think like that. Correct? Huh?
Yeah.
Next moment, something happens. Then that's it. We come down again. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we must, always be humble. The mind gives us this kind of thinking. We must counter this thinking. No. I'm fallen. You know, I'm not advanced. You know, I'm very fallen. Then yeah, you're safe. You think you're advanced, then trouble starts. Correct? Hmm?
Yeah.
That is how even Sanatana Goswami is saying, Niche Jadi, Niche Sangi. He says, I'm very fallen person, what to speak? Then then the Lord said to Sanatan, now you are thinking yourself so humble, please give up this thinking, it breaks my heart when I hear you, say like this. So the Lord is very pleased when we think like that, act like that also. So that's why the Vaishnavas, you see, even he is advanced, although a pure devotee standard is above all, he still consider himself to be the lower stage of life. You see this verse? Correct? Yes or not? So that is how our training is to be, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, no, Tanada pi sunichena, tarua pi saisuna, amanina manadena kitanya sadahari. To think oneself low in the street, to be more tolerant and to be offering all respect to others. In such a state of mind, we can chant Hare Krishna constantly. When we are proud, then we cannot chant. That's another thing. Why we should go in that way, I am so fallen. Kama is attacking me. If Krishna, if you don't save me, I have no choice. I have nowhere to go. You please help me. So the devotees are like this, no? Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Prabhu, association is very important for our advancing spiritual life, we understood. But
Yes.
the maximum time we are working with non-devotees, and you can say in the example, I can say my company have 5,000 people, and there is totally only 2 or 3 are only chanting Hare Krishna. That's not. So we had the association with them. They're using a lot of kinds of languages or bad or good. Sometimes because of tackle with them, you tend to be sometimes angry also. So in that case, what is the solution? We try to be avoid them or try to be change the position of the job, or but we cannot give up the work, right? We have to work for to maintain our family life.
Now you just carry on your activities, praying to Krishna to deliver you. Understand? You carry on, pray. Krishna is putting you there. Krishna can also put you somewhere else, right? Yes?
Correct.
Krishna can also take you back to Godhead, what? Correct? Krishna can do anything, yes? Yes?
Yeah.
So you pray to
Yeah.
Krishna. In the meantime,
Thank you.
you practice very seriously. You wake up in the morning, you chant your rounds, you read the book. If you got time, you take Krishna Prasadam. These are safeguards, no? Just now we read the verse, no? Correct? Then you go to work. This way you'll be protected. Yes?
Yes.
And then you wait for Krishna to deliver you. That's all we are doing. We all are doing that. Every one of us are just waiting for Krishna to deliver us, right? Yes? Correct?
Yeah.
Huh?
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Yes, duality is illusion, likes and dislikes. It's all part of the material world. Material world is always giving all this relativity, hot, cold, high, low, like, dislike. This is the working of the mind. The mind, conditioned mind is always giving you, like, dislike, sochati, kanchati, yankering, lamenting. This is all part of this material world. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. I thank you all very much for your wonderful association. I'm very fortunate to have spent some time with you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in our Friday weekly session.
Thank
So,
you, President Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Dandavam.
Hare Krishna, Tamil from Dasya Prabhupada. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much again. So nice to see all of you. Though we all come from different parts of the world,
Hare Krishna.
at least we
All
are
good.
coming together to hear about Krishna. Okay then, Hare Krishna, Jai, all glories to Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.